So, you're thinking of moving to Austin, Texas. Well, in today's video, we are going to be talking all about the current Austin market. Let's go. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope y'all are having a beautiful day. I'm Dominique. I am a local realtor in the greater Austin area, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about the Austin market. I did want to just kind of say hello, hi. I feel like it's been a long time. I know I've put up a couple videos recently, but I definitely went on a hiatus for the summer. We went to Europe with my family and we just had an awesome time. And so I had planned to film some stuff before I went, and it didn't work out. I thought about filming there too, but you know, we were just having too much fun sightseeing and all this stuff. So it's good to be back. I plan on making a lot more content more consistently. If you're thinking of moving to the area, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what videos would be most helpful to you. I did have a request for a Leander pros and cons video, so I haven't forgotten about you, and I do plan on making that one soon. So let's get into the data, and we're looking at Austin and like the metropolitan area around Austin. So if we're just looking at City of Austin, those numbers will differ a bit, but I'll just go into kind of a general overview of the whole area. So the median sales price has decreased 10% down to $462,000. Closed sales are about the same. In the month of July, there were 2,815 homes that sold. The average days on market is 59 days, and that's up from 37 days a year ago. And one of the big things about that is, if you saw any of my last videos, you know, and I'm sure in your market, depending on where you're at, you noticed, you know, how things changed last year. But we started seeing a change in about April, and then we really felt it in June and July, because that's typically the busiest time of year for home buying, leasing, all of that. And so we definitely felt it there in those months. That's when the days on market increased. You know, people were kind of saying what's going on, what changed. Obviously it was the hike in interest rates, and most people didn't expect that they were going to stay elevated for as long as they have. And so that definitely was affecting pricing, days on market, all of that. Pending sales is actually up 14%. And new listings is down 23%, which makes sense because as we head into fall, you start seeing less listings. So if you are a seller in the current market, then you definitely want to be aware of your pricing and not price a home based on, 2021, beginning of 2022. As I've said in the past videos, you want to look at the current market that you're in, for your neighborhood, the current sales, what's sold in the last 30 days. Because even if we look, let's say if we look at a neighborhood and, there was a recent sale, say in April, it's not the best comparable for your home. Now, if you're in a neighborhood where, there just aren't that many comparables, then it is something good to look at, but you want to look at that data. And you want to consider that the interest rate has increased about 1% from there. And so home buyers aren't always just looking at their total sales price. They don't look at it like that. Sellers do, because they're thinking, okay, what am I going to get? What am I going to have in my pocket when I sell this home? But buyers, yes, they're looking at, okay, this is what I'm approved for. But most buyers are looking at, this is what I want to spend on a monthly basis. And so when you take into account that interest rate, that's $450, $500 extra dollars a month, depending on the price point that you're at. And so that makes a big difference. It doesn't matter what income you're at. Everybody has, a monthly amount that they're wanting to stay within. And so that's something really important that sellers need to keep in mind when you're pricing. The important thing to remember about that is that, you want to listen to the market. So if your marketing is on point and everything is in check, and the home looks great, it shows really well, that's condition. Those are two important pieces. So if those are great and you're not getting offers and not getting a lot of activity on your listing, then the last thing you have to look at is pricing. So those are the three things that I want you to keep in mind as a seller. One other highlight is the months of inventory. And so that's, how much inventory we have in today's current market. We are at 3.7 months, which is up from 1 month last July. So, things have definitely cooled off. And again, that just points out the importance of pricing in today's market, especially coming off of the spring and summer busier time of year. Last week and this week, most school districts went back to school, so a lot of families have been busy with that. For buyers that are looking at certain school districts, they will usually try to get in before the school starts. That way they can be already in district for their, desired elementary, middle, high school, etc. Again, that, just kind of speaks to the importance of pricing and understanding the current market that you're in. Because sometimes, you have to move for whatever reason. Sellers can't always necessarily list in spring, summer. They have to list other times of year, just depending on life and seasons and all of that. So, but it's just something to keep in mind when you're listing this time of year or heading into fall. You want to be cognizant of all of that. You want to, be mindful that we're not in the busy spring and summer season. People are back to school, they're busy with that, and so it's just gonna take a little bit longer. You have to have some patience. I actually went on a broker tour last week, I think it was. It was really fun. I saw a lot of beautiful houses. We have broker tours all over the city of Austin, but last week I attended one in Leander, and we saw price points from the mid 300s up to over $1 million, properties. And it was just great because I got to meet with a lot of different brokers, got to see a lot of different houses. It's always great just, talking with other colleagues and people in the profession so that I'm on top of the market and I know how to best advise my buyers and sellers. Obviously, as I mentioned before, the condition, the marketing, all of that has to be, in line, and that way you're positioning yourself and standing out in the market. And then the third piece is, again, price is really important. And then the fourth thing I would say, and what everybody was in agreement on, is patience, because this is a different market. And so, it did used to take 4 to 6 months to sell a house. That's a normal balanced market. We've just been in this crazy busy market for the last few years where things were selling, in a weekend. And that's great for sellers, but on the other hand, it's stressful for buyers because then they have to, put in multiple offers, and it can just be a little stressful on that side of things. So I think every market, the last few years, every year has been unique. And so we have to go in, whether I'm representing a buyer or whether I'm representing a seller, we have to always be mindful of our current market and use the data that we have, and then make decisions and offers based on that informed data, So those are the statistics that I have for you for today. A couple other notes. I listened to an economist recently. Some of the key items that they went over were the consumer price index rose 3.2%, and then the producer price index was forecasted to increase 0.7%, but it increased 0.8%. So the financial markets are trying to reconcile those two numbers. And so a lot of investors are just a bit cautious. They were saying that they don't anticipate another rate hike. However, the Fed did mention possibly 2 more this year, one of which has already gone through. So they'll have their meeting again in September. I'm not sure of the exact date, but if they're going to be increasing, it'll be then. They don't expect that it'll be as high as some of the other ones have been. They're thinking that it'll only be about 25 basis points or so. But something to keep in mind if you're a seller and you have a home on the market. And some of the things that the economist noted, she said that the collapse of the 3 regional banks has definitely contributed to it. The other thing was the debt ceiling impasse that affected things. And so again, investors are just kind of holding out, being cautious, and kind of waiting on the market to see what things are going to do. She did say that she believes that the rates will remain elevated for the next couple of months. She didn't speak to the winter or going into spring, but she said that she doesn't see any indicators that would make her believe that there are going to be a drop in rates anytime soon. Closed sales declined 27% last week, again, just coming off of that spring and summer busy season, heading back to school. All those things contribute to the decline in sales. There was also a decline in leasing that was down 35%. So that's what's going on in our market right now. I hope this is helpful to you. As always, let me know if you have any questions. You know, as we go into fall and winter, things definitely slow down quite a bit, and then things normally start picking up in the spring. I always have I had a buyer consult the other day, and you know, they were asking, is it a good time to buy? And I can't always answer that because, as I've said in past videos, it just kind of depends on your circumstance and whether or not you need to move. A lot of my buyers recently have been moving just because of like life changes, seasonal changes, like, you know, they're having a baby, or, you know, just different things. Sometimes it's life goals, but usually lately it's been, you know, kind of big things that are prompting that move. I did say I do think that it is a good time to buy right now. Yes, it is harder because of rates. You just can't buy as much because of the higher interest rates, but sellers are more willing to work with you. You're able to get incentives still. I'm seeing a lot of the 2-1 buy down from lenders, and a lot of lenders are offering free refinance. So all of those same things that I spoke about a few months ago are still happening in today's market. So there's just less competition and more options for you as a buyer. And so if you're up to it, I think that right now is a really great time to buy. Of course, it's been really hot in Austin. I don't know if y'all remember my pros and cons video, but I said that it's not that bad. And I don't know if I had amnesia because this year is so bad. It's so hot right now. But if you're brave and you want to get out there, I think it is actually a really good time to buy, because what we expect to happen is when the rates drop, and we don't, you know, obviously we don't know when, we don't know how much they're gonna drop, but we expect that more buyers will come back into the market. So if you can get ahead of that, so you have less competition, that you're not having to go against multiple offers and overbid and all of that stuff, then you're positioning yourself in a really good place. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, leave me a comment below, let me know. Also, my email is in the description, so if you have any questions, drop me a line. If you're thinking of moving here, I'd love to help you. I'd love to be a resource. Be sure to reach out to me. And thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay connected with me, and I will see y'all very soon in the next video. Oh, don't forget to tell me what kind of videos you want to see. See you soon. Bye.